Invite a Budget Blinds style consultant to show you how to transform your rooms just by changing your window coverings. Canada's #1 choice for window coverings. Visit budgetblinds.ca today.
Welcome back. With the shelves almost bare at the Salvation Army Food Bank, members of the community wanted to help out. The Lloydminster Ambulance Service and Royal Canadian Legion are hosting a food drive. Yesterday, they were accepting donations at the Sobeys parking lot, and ambulance staff say the current downturn in the oil field made them want to help.
So many people are losing their jobs, and the food bank is at an all-time high of usage right now. People just need the help, and I think us doing this donation is going to help secure them for a little while.
The food drives were planned with Thanksgiving in mind, as it's a difficult time for some who don't have a lot.
You want to provide that nice family meal and memories, and some people it's a real stretch to do that these days. So if we can help out with basic necessities that can bulk up that meal for them, I think that's a big deal.
They're also accepting new hygiene products and diapers. The next Stuff the Ambulance event is on Saturday at Safeway from noon to 5. Two local companies are standing strong in some tough economic times. As Hannah Tita explains, the largest Canadian-owned crane company is partnering with the largest Aboriginal employer to create new opportunities for First Nation youth.
The Cold Lake Bonnyville area is one of Canada's largest oil-producing regions. Cold Lake Primco Dene will now own 50% of some NCSG cranes, which provides numerous oil companies with cranes and heavy haul services. CEO Ted Redmond says, despite the economic ups and downs, the business partnership will still be prosperous.
The maintenance work is reoccurring and ongoing no matter what the price of oil is. You still have to keep the facilities running. And so, our partnership's going to concentrate on maintenance opportunities and steady employment for people in the local regions.
The Cold Lake Primco Dene is looking forward to creating new job opportunities for the community. After the joint business venture, there will be approximately 650 local employees.
We draw from 95 different communities, and every time we create a new venue or a new opportunity, a new footprint in a type of work, it's the doors are just, the floodgates basically open for Aboriginal workers across our region.
Primco Dene is a flagship in Cold Lake, generating several millions in revenue.
We always think about our young people to be independent, not to be dependent on welfare, but to be independent, to work for themselves.
We very rarely depend on any government funding. Most of all our revenue comes from all our corporate entities and all our initiatives, such as joint ventures like this. So that helps the bottom line in keeping our own sovereignty, keeping our own independence intact.
Hannah Tita, Newcap News.
Diabetes is a serious disease that affects men and women of all ages. And according to the Canadian Diabetes Association, every hour, roughly 20 people are being newly diagnosed. In this week's Healthy Living, Chris Chacon has a look into how Aboriginals are at a higher risk of type 2 diabetes and what is being done to help fight it.
Many of you have heard of the term diabetes or know someone who has it. It's a worldwide chronic disease that affects millions across Canada, and certain ethnicities are more prone to having it than others.
It is exceptionally common and is becoming a major health issue in Aboriginal people in Canada and even in the world.
The disease affects the body by improperly or not producing insulin, which controls the amount of glucose the body needs. Now, why would this be greater among Aboriginals?
Because things have changed in what people of Aboriginal origin, especially those in reserves, are eating these days. Once upon a time, they did not get the kind of food that we eat, which is very high in calories, and this is causing an issue. Also, there is a genetic component to the diabetes incidence in Aboriginal people.
With this condition affecting so many, a local group called Women Warriors is working to make a change and is taking this battle to the front lines.
This group is all about type 2 diabetes awareness and prevention, and there's an epidemic of type 2 diabetes in the Aboriginal community. Aboriginal women are 4 times as likely to have diabetes as non-Aboriginal women.
The group is hosting an 8-week fitness course aimed at living a healthier lifestyle, a key factor in treating the condition.
Those people who have already have diabetes and are diagnosed with diabetes can decrease the amount of medication they require, or may need no medication if they exercise and watch their diet.
It's all about getting more active, and there's 7 different fitness instructors coming in each week to teach 1-hour classes, and then there's a 15-minute nutrition component afterwards.
Health professionals do encourage pre-testing for diabetes, even at a younger age.
And people don't know they have it sometimes till it's too late.
Chris Chacon, Newcap News.
It's being touted as possibly the biggest trade deal in history. Canada is one of 12 countries that has signed on to the Trans-Pacific Partnership. While Western provinces could be in line to benefit, Ontario and Quebec could be crying foul as their poultry, dairy and auto manufacturing could pay a hefty price. In this week's Agriculture Report, the Federal Agriculture Minister sat down with Gerard Lampow to break down the numbers.
It's been 5 years in the making, and trade ministers see it as setting the rules for 21st century trade. From Chile to Japan, the Trans-Pacific Partnership TPP aims to create the world's largest free trade zone, accounting for 40% of global economic output.
There will be some industries that will adapt.
Canada would gain preferential access to Asia in countries like Japan, Malaysia and Vietnam for several products including beef, pork, grain, canola, wine and high-tech machinery.
I don't see this worth any less than, say, $2 to $3 billion of new money for Canadian agriculture.
Currently, 90% of Canada's dairy market is protected. TPP countries will get phased-in duty-free access. The US, Australia and New Zealand stand to benefit from increased access to Canada's supply-managed sectors. Several ag interest groups, including grain and cattle, are jubilant, but one group is waving a red flag.
For the first time, we see our national government, or federal government, to provide funds to compensate supply management farmers for a drop in the market and drop in revenue.
It's actually a strategic transitionatory funding is the way I would classify it. There's no bailout. I mean, this is to stabilize the industry. This is an employer of over 300,000 people, $35 billion annual addition to our GDP. We want to make sure that they remain strong.
In the Battleford's Lloydminster riding, where Ritz is incumbent, the other candidates are weighing in.
It is said that canola is going to benefit. The projections are a 15% increase in canola marketing. I cannot see that, 6-7% perhaps, but not 15%.
The auto industry is very upset. The milk producers and egg producers in Eastern Canada or Central Canada are very affected by this, and it's going to take a lot of innovation on the part of the farmers, on the part of the auto industry to make it work for them.
The TPP has a lot of issues that we don't know about yet, but in the past, the free trade agreement, NAFTA, I mean, we send our oil down to the States, it's refined down there, and it's sent back as expensive product to us to put in our vehicles.
The Peterson Institute for International Economics estimates that Canada could benefit from upwards of $10 billion in revenue from the TPP by 2025. But there's a lot of work to be done to make that a reality as Canada moves forward. Gerard Lampow, Newcap News.